2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Winston. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. To throw, Winston. He's going to go up top again. And that's caught inside the 35. And they'll work this down inside the 30. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't. But it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. On 1st and 10, Winston. This is Jennings. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed that went right into the game plan. Attack them early, see if they're going to play any better. And if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
From the red zone now, Winston. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag. They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7 on the ground. That trims it to a 3rd and 15 situation.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
The kick by Watts is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Running room at at the 50. Look out. Past the 20. He will score. Touchdown, Minnesota. So they gave up the field goal, but boom, they get it right back. Don't even worry about getting their offense on the field. They return it on the kickoff.
So I see your 3 points.
And raise you 6.
Double it up, coming right back at them. And if that's going to be the trade all game long, someone's going to be very happy with the end result.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. The slot man in motion right. Now Jameis on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Jameis to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And incomplete on the deep ball.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
He got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Gano's kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On 3rd down, Winston. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And getting our first update now from Nashville. The Raiders are out to an early lead. That's one we'll continue to watch here in Week 3 of the NFL season. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They start the drive with Cook, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go.
Here's a 2nd and 7. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. The rookie was trying to push him downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Following the interception, Winston. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Winston to give. It's Kamara. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Winston. is Chris Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Kamara up the middle. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Saints at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room. But they do have to start winning some games.
On 2nd and 12, Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Throwing, Winston. Completes it to Jennings. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Winston now. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. Touchdown, Saints! Adam Troutman, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Lutz with the extra point, and we are even at 10 apiece. We're level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had the interception on the last drive, which led to the tying touchdown. So 10-10 the score as they begin 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with him for that long.
Better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They're going to look to throw. Able to connect with Dotson. And he will have a Vikings first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They'll set up to throw. This pass hauled in by Dotson. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and
he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport. On 4th down, Matt Araiza is sent on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way. Now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have got the yard down to the 16.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. And that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Winston. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man. Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take, punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And absolutely zero surprise that that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
Now that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get a foot here, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Throwing on 2nd down. Winston escaping the pressure right. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
First down, Winston. Under pressure, and down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. They just do get the play off. Now Winston looking deep for Jennings. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
2nd and 15. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. So the completion results there in 9 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find a soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Take it at the 37. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Winston now from the 50. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. To throw is Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball, just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Pete Werner. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team is struggling to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Kamara is in. Touchdown, New Orleans. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind-melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They run again on first down. Cook, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. He'll drop to throw. Out left to Dotson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now back to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. Downfield, and he's got Olave. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Steps away. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he's able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Kamara. Room here to run. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A good pickup there at 22. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Winston. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense keeps him out of the end zone there. Now, will they go for it? And if so, can they do it one more time?
Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth it going for it, because what we've seen from the defense so far, every gap is taken care of. Everyone is sound in their coverage. No one is breaking free. And those ball carriers are getting tagged. If I were them, I'd think very hard about just taking 3 points and taking their dignity and moving on.
And the ball's at the 2, spotted at the 2, so a pretty good chunk to go. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled into 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes that kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half of this defense. They take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're in defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Complete, it's Dotson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That's a much-needed accomplishment there on 3rd down. They've been forced to punt far too many times already. They needed something to go their way, and they're able to get a new set of downs.
He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we play 3 quarters. To throw, Winston. Got an open man, it's Olave. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That was no 3rd and 2, that was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for New Orleans. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Vikings.
Justin Jefferson.
His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Gano the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Howard up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And Danielle Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That's complete to Troutman, right side.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
73 yards rushing now for Kamara. It's a first down.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Winston. Looking deep for Jennings. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
This is fielded at the 7. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
At their own 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
That's complete. It's Cook.
Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that 1st down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw again. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. A 4th down pass interference call.
And everyone works hard on 3rd down. That's usually the money down. Get off the field. It intensifies when it's a 4th down. You think you've got it done. You think you've completed the play. Instead, you see a flag. Pass interference gives them a new set of downs.
He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
And here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Able to connect with Dotson. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Back to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.